I want to call on the Manager of Communications in the Ministry of Works and Transports, Mr. John Victor, to share a few words with us. Can we put our hands together for him?
Thank you very much, Andy. And good night to you, ladies and gentlemen. You all look very lovely from up here. Mr. Hewitt, of course, the Route 2 Maxi Taxi Association. Route 1? Route 2. 1. And of course, Mr. Linus Phillip of Route 2. Mr. Christopher Surratt, the PRO of the Route 2 Maxi Taxi Association. I always have to try to get these things correctly. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, my name is John Victor. I'm the Manager of Corporate Communications in the Ministry of Works and Transport. It used to be the Ministry of Transport before. It's now Works and Transport. So we now have a hyper ministry, which includes some of the departments that were previously under other ministries. And I'll just give you an example of that. The URP, the Unemployment Relief Program, was previously under 2 different ministries, I think 3. They are now all back under the Ministry of Works and Transport. The Drainage Division was a part of the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, which has gone the way of all flesh in terms of ministries. As you know, some of them have been absorbed under other ministries and government agencies. So that whole Drainage Division is back under the Ministry of Works and Transport. I don't pretend to represent the Minister of Works and Transport. I am just, that's right. For one, I don't have his dreadlocks. And 2, I was not among those elected to political office on September 7th, 2015. But having said that, I wish to convey his regrets for not being here this evening. But he does send his warmest regards and congratulations to you for yet another successful year. And I think you should applaud yourselves for that. And also, I wish to extend the best wishes of our permanent secretary in the former Ministry of Works of Transport, who is now the permanent secretary and accounting officer in the Ministry of Works and Transport, Mrs. Werner Johnson. So she also sends her regards. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry of Works and Transport, formerly Ministry of Transport, we have always had a very close and I think productive relationship with the Maxi Taxi Association of Trinidad and Tobago. No. Mr. Hewitt, I will convey your concerns to him. I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that I was very much a part of the $25 million that the association has gotten thus far. For some strange reason, the Ministry of Finance was responsible for preparing the checks. Yeah? But for some strange reason, they left it to us, the Ministry of Transport at the time, to distribute the rebates. And I was pleased to, call in. Some of you may have been recipients of rebates thus far. I was pleased at times to call Mr. Phillip or Mr. Hewitt and say, here, we have another batch of checks to give out, and to see the happy faces receiving their rebates. Some even shook my hand and say, thank you, Minister. I said, well, I'm not there yet, but I was pleased to be part of that. And, Mr. Hewitt, I want to assure you that I have no political power, but the little influence that I have, I will make sure that I bring all to bear upon the powers that be to ensure that you don't have to shut down the country or in January. right? And as TC tells me, there are remedies for things that don't move, but we won't go there right now, okay? But I want to say that seriously, that we will try our utmost to ensure that this continues to this be a reality in 2016, and that the distribution of rebates will continue. So we will continue to have the good relations that we have enjoyed thus far. So ladies and gentlemen, having said that, let me just say, on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Works and Transport, the Honorable Fitzgerald Hines, and of the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Works and Transport, I want to say that we are very pleased to continue the productive and cordial relations that we've had with the Maxi Taxi Association and its executive. You know, I particularly like the fact that you now consider yourself as businessmen and not hustlers. That's a really, really resounding endorsement for your association, and I think is one that, again, deserves another round of applause. So you need to applaud yourselves for that. So again, on behalf of the Minister and the PS, I would like to just wish you a very Merry Christmas and, of course, a very prosperous New Year 2016, and continue your operations in a reliable and safe manner. And on the question of safe, as I close, you know, we in the ministry, we really preach the whole question of road safety. And I must say that the Maxi Taxi Association has been very much a part of those initiatives as we try to reduce the carnage on our nation's roads. And I was very pleased last week to hear that the Maxi Taxi Association was a zero contributor to that, and we need to be applauded for that. So again, thank you very much for the opportunity to bring these few remarks, and I can assure you, Mr. Hewitt, that and Mr. Phillip, and the executive and members, that we will do all in our power to ensure that you continue to be happy and prosperous in 2016. I thank you very much.